Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the Carvel Community Meeting. Today's date is July 10th, 2024. If you're watching this as a recording, we encourage you to come join us live. We meet every second and fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. It's an opportunity to listen in to what the maintainers are working on, provide live feedback, ask questions, or get live help with any of the tools. For those that are here today, if you have anything you wish to discuss with the community, please add it to the discussion topics section at the end of the agenda below. If you aren't able to attend live and would like to reach out to us with questions or feedback, you can also find us in the Kubernetes Slack workspace in the Slack channel Carvel. You can email us, find us on GitHub and on X at carvel_dev. When you attend these meetings, we ask you that you please read and abide by a code of conduct, which is linked out here in the agenda. For those in attendance, please add your name and any organization you represent to the attendees list here. All right. Any announcements this week? None, I guess.
Just for those who didn't join last time, Scott is working on something related to bringing a UI phase to the Carvel kapp-controller CRDs. Basically, he's trying to create a backstage plugin for package and package installs, and subsequently he'll try to create a backstage plugin which can help you to install, even provide custom values and install your package installs. So that's something cool which he's working on.
And we were not able to record last time's meeting, right? So good that
Yeah.
we have this. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, Scott. I believe this is Scott Rosenberg.
Yep.
Okay. Anything since we last met?
So, from a content perspective, I've been in touch with the person from Bloomberg who joined, just to be aware of it when they do put out the blog about the usage of Carvel. But it's still under legal review, is what they've said. But they still intend to publish it. I'm talking about Aiden, if it helps.
Want me to add that?
I'll add that.
All right. Any releases this week or last week?
Yeah, we had release of cap. So in that there were a couple of MRs which were submitted related to the pre-flight checks. And then that was the contributions done by the Red Hat team. And then we got one new contribution from not John Cudd. And then that was basically to update the cron job API version because what we had earlier that is not supported by Kubernetes anymore. And then there was certain PRs which were submitted to allow to define the custom behavior even for the cap controller resources. So until now, we had very opinionated way on how do we want to handle the cap controller resources, but now we can a user can bring in their own way to deal with the cap controller resources, the waiting logic specifically. And then if you're using cap as a library, then we have made the resource filter flag accessible. Yeah, these are the major things.
Oh, lots of contribution from Rashmi. So thank you, Rashmi. There is Evert, Travan, there is Praveen, Rohit, John. And congratulations, John, on your first contribution to Carvel. Right. Any other releases? Any other tools that were released? Image package, maybe, Gbuild? João, would you know?
Last time we didn't had any releases, but maybe next week we are going to see if there are any new features and we are going to release the tool. So if you have any features which need to go in, which you are working on, make sure that you contribute the PRs ASAP.
All right, sounds good. I don't think there's anything new in the project roadmap. We still have, I think, the dependencies added to the roadmap, but nothing new has happened there. Dependency management. Anything you want to talk about that on, Joe? I believe you have created some milestones last time. What is?
I think he mentioned he'll be right back. So maybe we can circle back to it later on.
And we are working on vendor adding caching for HG. Anybody wants to talk about this?
Yeah, I think the MRs are merged for this. So yeah, that's what we talked about last time.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I was in the wrong agenda. Yep, cap, sorry. So we have enhancement for custom waiting behavior.
Yeah, so I have created this issue. The intention is that, for example, if I have an application which have, let's say, before it comes up successfully, it has a condition that, let's say, it want for a database to be up and running, and as part of its readiness criteria, it want this connection to be established. So it does happen sometimes that the database is yet to come up and my app goes into the failed state. And so because in CAP we fail aggressively, So the cap deploy fails, saying my custom app is not able to come up. But the database is actually in the process of coming up. So it will come up in, let's say, sometime, and then my app would have reconciled back to a successful state. So we are just thinking that it will be good if we can, be in a failed state for, let's say, some time before exiting the cap deploy. So as of now, adding this as a behavior on a custom resource. Later on, we can see that if we really need to enhance it even for pod or a deployment. But for now, the issue is created only for the custom resource.
Would this be controlled through a flag? Are we adding a new flag for this?
So we already have the wait rules as which can be defined as part of cap configuration. There might be something we'll do on those lines only. We can enhance our wait rules in the sense some new keys will be added, most probably, which can say like status until and some duration of time, or wait until, something like that. But
Alright.
it's not decided yet. Yeah.
All right. So you will define the API for this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, sounds good. Maybe we'll have more to discuss on this next week, next meeting.
Sure.
Thank you, Rohit, for submitting this. KCTRL.
I can
Is
talk
that-
about that. So
All right.
two things mainly. One, something we have been thinking about for a while, like folks aren't able to use downward API with package releases when they're using K-control. So we have sort of partially solved the problem now. And so if you're dealing with, let's say, a Kubernetes version field or a Kubernetes API list using downwards API, and you're trying to release that package, we're supporting that now. And we sort of need to think about how we want to manage kapp-controller versions as well, because this is something that's sort of fed in at build time. And when we're consuming kapp-controller as a package, we cannot really do that. So it's something to think about. And yeah, essentially that's the bit that goes into the backlog. I think we'll end up tracking it separately. And the other bit is something that we've been discussing recently, that so far when you're installing a package using K-control, it's sort of compulsory to supply a version flag. So what we've been thinking is if we could make the version flag optional, and in case a version is not supplied, what we're going to do is we're going to use a constraint that always picks the latest version. So this is still something we're thinking about. So I'll be creating a tracking issue for this, and we can gather thoughts there. But so it won't be a breaking change, because if you're already using K-control, you're already supplying the versions flag and the behavior will stay as is. But if folks in the future want to sort of benefit from this behavior, they can do that. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Any questions on these from anybody? All right, moving on to the discussion topics. So we have the LFX mentorship third term coming up from September to November, and it is open for project proposals. I was wondering if that is something that we would want to do. Anybody who would be willing to mentor and maybe some of the issues which have been on the back burner for some time, we can get it done.
Until when do we have to give an answer for this?
I can find that out. It's there in the mail. I believe it will be before the end of July. That's my dog.
Praveen, are you going to say something?
Yeah, Praveen.
I don't know, I was just saying like we could work on the dependencies. Like we have certain milestones, we can add more details and maybe we can use this opportunity to work on that. Like maybe we can have multiple mentors. I'm not sure if that's an option. Like I myself might not be able to like mentor 100% of the things. So if I think we have multiple mentors, then we can definitely use this opportunity.
So the date is 23rd July. That's the last date. So I guess we can think about this next week and discuss it at the next community meeting.
I like our proposal, Praveen, but I'm a little bit concerned about that. So the last go around, I think we kind of did something similar to that. And due to a bunch of things that happened during the time of the last LFX mentorship program time, I feel like that we could have given more support to the mentee. And because I think that maybe like the mentorship was like spread between multiple people, we kind of didn't had like accountability on the mentor side. That's the feeling that I have. And I think in reality, personally, I'd prefer if somebody would say like, I'd like to mentor this person and go with that, than having like a shared, even if we like can have like other people helping, have somebody that person is a person that's responsible for the mentorship. I think that would be like better than having like a group of people sharing that responsibility. Of course, as I was saying, like we can have the like multiple people helping to do that, but I think there should be somebody that says that I want to do this and I'm gonna take this forward.
Were there any other learnings from the last time, Joe?
To me, I think that was the biggest one. Like, if you remember correctly, like the last mentorship ended in December. I think that was when it ended, right? And the work is still not merged in, and not the totality of the work. Like, not even like the first part was merged in. Like, there was like a bunch of things that happened. So, but nevertheless, I think that maybe if you have somebody that is like responsible that is the mentor, that would try to take this along and try to keep everybody accountable for things that like for the dates and so on. And I think that was like the main thing we like that we got from there, at least from my point of view. But as I was saying, like I was not the mentor, I was just helping out. So I'm not sure like if like Sumik or Renu has something else to add.
From my side, I think like I was sort of exploring image package with the mentee, and that didn't work out well. So I think if you're doing dependency management, let's say, it should be folks who are familiar with it. And like I think it's sort of if we have a proposal already in place and it's sort of hammered out what needs to be done, like more definitive end results, I think that would work much better than sort of expecting the mentee to come up with a solution and dig into something. That's definitely something. Because I think we spent a lot of time on the proposal and back and forths. So I think that's something we should have hammered out before we choose to mentor someone. Like definite issues. And if I'm not wrong, I think we already have this for dependency managers. We just need to be sure of it.
From my end, I think what I was trying to get done was the image package bit. I definitely feel there was a lot of back and forth. What we did not completely, I think, take into account was that almost 3 to 4 weeks in those 3 months were used up by the mentee in exams, either in prep or being in exams or something. And that is something that we'll have to, if they are college, they are college students, then we have to keep that in mind. So even though it was not a big project and we thought that it would be done in 3 months of time, but for somebody who's new, and if you have to mentor them, then I think the project cannot be as big. Like, I think dependency management is quite a huge thing. So if part of it has to be done, and if you have to mentor somebody, then it has to be somebody who's leading that effort, and then the mentor actually helps you out with the project. It cannot be, I think, that that the mentee will do the whole thing themselves. That has been my learning. All right. So with this, what do you feel? What do you want to do? Who will have the bandwidth to mentor? It requires at least meeting once a week with the mentee, and ad hoc reviews, then ad hoc meetings also to help them out to understand. All these things might be required. So it does take up some time, and I would want you to be comfortable to spend that time. However, I also want dependency management to be in.
When you say to be in,
Okay.
you're saying that you want that developed?
It will be nice. We have been talking about it for quite some time now. It is there in our roadmap. We have the proposal in place. We have some bit already done by a few folks. I think at least the initial cut. Not the initial cut, but yeah, some part of it.
Maybe let's.
If there are, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, instead of like putting people in check here, let's see, like think about it. And if somebody think that they have some bandwidth to be a mentor, or it's something that they want to do, let us know in the next couple of days, by till the end of this week maybe, and then we'll see from there. I think that maybe it's better, because maybe you'll have to carve some time out from your day-to-day work. Maybe you'll have to talk with your manager or something like that in order to know if that's possible. So maybe let's see if we can, by the end of this week, somebody is interested in being a mentor. We can think about this, like also like we thought about doing some like rework on the website. Maybe that's something that's a little bit more, let's call it like lightweight. It's not like so in depth into the tools or something like that. And there were like some issues that were created for that. Maybe that's something that we can tackle. Definitely, like the dependency management is a piece of work, but it doesn't mean that it needs to be complete, right? It can be just like the first milestone, get us to the first milestone, or get us to the second milestone. And I'm not sure if there's like anything right now that we have ready, apart from like piecemeal things, like little good to have, or not good to have, but like good first issues or something like that on individual tools for right now.
Sounds good. Anything else on this? Okay. Moving on to the next topic. We have KubeCon North America coming up, which is in Utah, I think. Anybody is going to be traveling there? Are you? I'm not sure what is the CNCF sponsorship for people for Sandbox project this time. Has anybody been able to get that information?
Application
And
actually right now.
it's still applicable?
Yeah, it's open, and CNCF doesn't care if it's incubated or sandbox. It's more like proposal based.
And for the projects, I have applied for the Carvel booth, which for Sandbox project, it is going to be a half-day booth. Do we also want to apply for what is it, talk, a lightning talk or something? Was another question. So if anybody is willing to travel from US, hopefully, would be very helpful. We can plan something out for the booth. Yeah, right now it's only usual there. And I don't think anybody else has a visa. And
I know that I will be traveling. I'm not a maintainer or anything, but a community user. I will be at KubeCon this year, so happy to help with anything needed.
hey, Rosen, didn't see you there. Welcome. And oh, thank you for that. Yes. So if our project is accepted, we'll definitely reach out to you.
Yeah, definitely happy to.
All right. Any other topics that anybody wants to discuss today?
I don't know if you talked about last week's topics, because I was not in the meeting. Did you all talk about it? No. Okay.
No.
So I'll just be brief about it. So like 3 weeks ago or something like that, I created for us like a 1Password account to store like all our secrets from Carvel side. And so that was done instead. Like previously we had everything on a LastPass instance for VMware, but that LastPass instance is going to be decommissioned, and now we do have a 1Password account for that to store like all our secrets. So we should be moving all the secrets there that we have to do that. I reached out to CNCF and to Algolia to try to move our account over. And after talking to the support for Algolia, they told me that there's nothing to be moved because we are in a free tier. So we kind of just need to invite people to be able to see the Algolia project, and that's it. So like we are not even associated with VMware, Broadcom, or anything. We are associated directly with Algolia itself. So the account doesn't need to be moved. So that's good. I also opened a ticket to have a like bot or a list created for our Carvel bot in GitHub, because currently we are using a VMware address for it. And for that one, I'm not 100% sure where we are right now. I have to revisit. I've been out like last couple of days, and I didn't have time to go through it, but I think I need to open like a new ticket to see if we can get this done. So we can remove the VMware email address from the bot itself. So that's basically the status. And I think those are like the last things that we still had associated with any kind of like VMware email addresses and so on. Oh, by the way, like one of the reasons for this is that like VMware emails are going to be decommissioned somewhere in the next, like, I think 3 months. I think it's in November 1st or something. They will cease to exist. So we'd have to do that nevertheless. And I think it would be better like for the community for us to have the maintainers, give the maintainers a way to like be able to like log into GitHub with the bot or get access to like the bot, instead of being just like currently I'm the only person that can access that bot. I think it can change its password. So that would be like better for the community in general. So I think that's it from my side.
Okay, one small update from my end also, which is with regards to some housekeeping that we have to do. One is the recordings of this meeting, of the community meeting, we have to upload it to the YouTube channel, which I have not been able to do. It's because of the access that is given to my email ID by Broadcom to YouTube is not there. However, CNCF has given my Broadcom email ID access to update content. So that's a conflict. I have tried my best to get this access from Broadcom to go and access YouTube when I sign in through my Broadcom email ID, which I'm not getting, or it's taking too long. So I'm going to now reach out to CNCF to see if they will change my email to my personal email. And then through that, I would be able to. So in the past, I think 3 meetings have happened, out of which 2 were recorded, and these 2 have not yet made it to the YouTube channel, but hoping to get it done soon.
Maybe like when we have like an account that is not associated like with Broadcom and stuff like that, and it's associated with CNCF, we can give that account access to get the videos uploaded so that we can just upload the videos without having to be juggling that.
I will ask if the CNCF maintainers but that's a group email ID. Not sure whether that will be given access or not. So let me check with those folks. I'll have to dig around to ask whom that I have to ask, whom I need to ask. All those things I'll have to do. So I'll see.
Mhm. Maybe like the easiest way is just to create a ticket on CNCF service desk.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anything else that we want to discuss today? Anything from you, Scott?
Nothing from my side. Nope. I know I did mention actually last time, I'm hopefully going to release it later today. I've created a backstage scaffolder action for YTT that I've been using a lot, actually, that I'm planning on releasing now, that allows you to use YTT inside of backstage for templating out any projects, things like that. So I plan to release that hopefully later today or tomorrow as well.
Awesome.
Let us know if you want to add a blog post talking about that as well.
I'll probably be releasing one on my blog is my guess. And then I'll send a link in the channel or something once I get that out. So sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay. That's it then for today. Thank you all for joining today's Carvel community meeting. If you're watching from home, we'd love you to join us live. We'll see you the next meeting. Thank you and take care.